No, they're all okay. Some of them played yesterday, some of them got a little knock the weekend. Just everybody's available and looking forward to seeing who's going to be in. That's it.
There was a couple in coming tonight, obviously, but Mark Wilson, we didn't have accounted for. Is there?
Yeah, he's coming in later on too. He's not. Yeah,
okay.
yeah, he's great. Yeah, no problems. Yeah.
Did you enjoy taking that session though?
I did, of course. Yeah, yeah. I like doing that, and obviously that's the first phase, first time being with them on the park. So yeah, I'm not sure they liked it, but I liked it.
Probably, you know, your coaching style would probably be quite different to Giovanni's. So you know, it's a different style for them to adapt to.
I think so. That's for sure. I think everybody is different in what they do and how they approach their sessions. I do it in a certain way. It takes people a little time to adjust to that. Hopefully we started to put the message in and then we'll take it from there.
You were very specific with them, Noel, how you wanted to play and how you wanted to press.
Did you think so?
Yeah.
No, we just put a few little markers down, that's all. It's nothing, just a little bit of tactical going on, that's all. I'd imagine we might have to defend for some time, periods, so that way.
Does it feel like a baptism of fire for you?
No, it feels great. I'm really happy about it. I'm excited about it. It's a huge job, a huge task. But when would you get the chance of it again? You look at the team they have and you just see the names and you say, you're involved in this, so I'm happy.
Is there a lot of personal pride from you?
Of course, yeah. Of course, but that will only sustain if we can get into good performances. You don't have great pride in disasters, do you? So we're not going to even talk about disasters.
Is there anything though other than restoring pride to the squad and the team to play for in these two games?
I have no interest in restoring pride. I'm interested in taking the German game on its values, looking at the quality players they have, looking at the players we have, and then trying to put something in place that hopefully will win us the game. That's it in a nutshell.
What do you think are the key things that need to be addressed from the previous game?
I've looked at the previous game, but it's not relevant really because there's some players not there. There'll probably be a difference in approach to it, so I'm not looking at key details of the past. I'm looking from now onto the Germans and the details that we need there to get us a result.
No, Stephen Anderson, Robbie out. Sorry, obviously wouldn't be the number one choice there, David forward. Since he's come back, he's had a couple of games where he's leaked 4 or 5 goals in the match. Is there concern there against Germany?
Against Germany, there's always a concern when you're playing Germany for everybody, not just for him. And I think we're going to work together as a team. And it's a group of people going to Germany to try and do something special. Whether we achieve that or not will remain to be seen. But once we strive and once we try and once we implement what we're about, I'll be happy. And there's no one person will be blamed, or there's no one person will be honoured with this securing a victory or whatever we can achieve. It's a group. It's a group ethic from people, staff, as well as players and squad. And that's the only way we can approach this. I'm not interested in looking at individual weaknesses. We all have weaknesses, including myself. And that's the way we've taken it on.
No, what do you see as your mission from this? Is it to develop the players? Is it to just hold the ship? Is it to get a result?
It's a football match. You go, every kid, every adult, you go to a football match, you try to win the game. That's all I know. And that's my mission, to try and win the game. How we go about doing it, and against the opposition, you might sound naive. I'm not naive. I understand fully the magnitude of the tie, but the mission is to try and win the game. Nothing else.
And you look at the players you brought back into the international folds. A few of them, 4 of them in particular, were frozen out a little bit under the previous manager. It was a big call for you to bring them back. What was the
my calling wasn't to do with the past. My calling was to do with the German game and the Kazakhstan game. There's 2 games coming alongside each other, which will be different, I'd imagine. In style and in tempo and all that sort of stuff. So the squads are picked for 2 games, and we'll see who starts against Germany and who starts against Kazakhstan. So
you're short centre halves as well for this game, and of the guys left there's not many recognised centre halves there playing regularly at centre half for their club. So have you got in mind who you want to play there?
Today is a good starting point, and tomorrow, the next training sessions, that will become more clear to me. We obviously know John O'Shea and Richard Dunn are out, but they're out, so we have to focus on what we have and doing the best job we possibly can. And wherever 2 will start in the middle of defence, I believe will be the 2 that I'm happy will get the best result for us.
No,
Sean say Ledger an option, because obviously he's not playing with his club, but is he an option?
Everybody in the 23 squad is in. They're not in just to come and have a trip. Everybody is brought in because we did reduce the squad, and it's difficult reducing the squad. So everybody who's there is there for a reason. And whether that reason is a full 90 minutes, a half performance, a game against Kazakhstan, a half game against Kazakhstan, a half game against Germany, that will unfold. I don't know yet, but that's why we have the squad.
No. Now, the starting 11 under Giovanni was often quite the same. Like, do you feel that you have the freedom to experiment now with the team you might pick on Friday night, or will we kind of expect more of the same again?
I actually don't know what the last team was that he played. I watched the match, but I couldn't tell you. The team is going to be picked from my head, from the staff's head, from talking to people, looking at performances and training, looking at Germany, seeing who's well suited to do certain jobs in the park. That'll be the team. If that happens to be the same team that went out the last, well, it can't be, but if it was, it would be just pure coincidence.
Do you plan to play the team on Thursday night? Or on Thursday evening?
No.
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 You're going to hang on until
Yeah,
match
boring. Yeah.
Is there a reason behind that?
Yeah, why should I tell anybody what we're doing? That's the reason, yeah.
No, Robbie King captain, is he an automatic starter?
If Robbie starts, he'll be captain.
So there is a question over him starting.
There's as I said, if there's no question over Robbie Keane, there's no question over, there's a group coming together. Robbie's not even landed on the thing. I need to speak to him. We need to see how he is in the park. There's no problems. Everybody's good. Everybody's happy. We're going home for a bit of food. So there's no even talking about picking the team yet.
No, would you think that would you have a formation in mind that you think might be the right formation for Germany? And if that's the case, would you be trying to look at players that will fit into that formation, or are you looking at the players for the strengths that they have and building the formation and the game plan based on what strengths you think you have in the squad?
I think you're right. I think I look at the Germans and look at what we have that will cater for that occasion on the night, and that's how the team will be picked. Correct.
No, just not judging by that session. I know we only saw 15 minutes of it, but it seemed to me the best you were trying to get across was that the players get behind the ball as quickly as they possibly can. That only from that 10 minutes, you wouldn't have a huge amount of interest in the players pressing high up the field once the Germans win the ball back. Would that be fair to say?
I think if you look at the Germans playing against Austria, the Germans playing against Ireland, when they lose the ball, where they go. Just have a look at that. Sometimes they press, other times they get back. Sometimes we'll press, other times we won't. And when we don't, we'll try and perform and defend properly.
Okay, last few. Yeah.
Can I ask you about Darren Gibson?
Yeah.
Back in the international fold.
Yeah.
I mean, he hasn't played. Well, he didn't feature in the Euro 2012 either.
Yeah.
You brought him back. What do you think he can bring to the Ireland squad?
He's a very good player, isn't he? I've seen him last year, particularly against. He was with Everton against Man City, and he was the best player on view. And if you think about the quality of players who were there, he can bring that to the team. He's experienced. He's comfortable in possession. He can pick a pass. He can work. He's a good player. Great.
Two others in that category are Andy Reid and Anthony Stokes that are back in. Again, they've had some time away. Did you feel that they can offer something? What do you feel they can offer? I think we all know what they can offer. I think we've seen Anthony Stokes play against Barcelona, did very well. Played in the 10 position, dropped deep, worked very hard defensively, and is good on the ball when he gets it. Andy Reid is good on the ball, lovely left foot, can pick a pass, can work, can tackle. So there's qualities in all the players. It's just a matter of, it's not personality, it's just a matter of trying to get the click and the balance right. And if we do, we'll be grand. If we don't, once we're trying and once we're all positive about it, no difficulties there.
Well, given that it's a two-match thing now, is there a sense of freedom that you have that maybe no other manager would? Is it like a unique position for you?
No. Well, it's unique, of course it is, but how do you mean?
In that you could possibly take a risk knowing that your future doesn't rest on these next two games.
I see this as a huge match for me. Huge match. You know, I understand what's coming, but the German match is huge. For my professional pride, this is what I do. This is what I've always had a view about what international managers should and shouldn't do, what international players should and shouldn't do. So it's huge for me. To just turn up and expect it's okay, Germany can roll over us, that wouldn't be acceptable.
That's obvious, but I just
well,
think that
if that's obvious, then that's the answer to your question.
You don't necessarily have to focus on the long term, like a manager. With
I have to live in Ireland. I have to live in Ireland after this. That's my long term. You know.
Okay.
Work with some of the players on the 21 level in the squad. But how different is it going to be working with these senior players now?
Obviously, I hope they're more mature as the people do as they get older. The more developed, the better players, and then the opposition are better players as well. So it'll be great. At my age, I'm older than all of them, so.
If there was a problem with David at all during the week, do you have an idea who your number 2 keeper is?
It'll be one of the other two.
Good answer. Thank you.
Thanks, lads.
Sorry about that.
Thanks, lads.
Thanks.